The 40-Day Mirror, a journey through Jewish character. I'm Rabbi David Kadosh, and welcome to day number 1. Before we begin, I want to dedicate today's episode and this entire series with deep gratitude to its founding sponsors, Mr. and Mrs. Leon and Denise Malech, who have generously sponsored the podcast in memory of the brave soldiers of the IDF who gave their lives so that our people may live. Yehi Zichram Baruch. May their memory be a blessing, and may their families know only comfort and nachat, and may the current soldiers continue to be protected by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Amen. We are 40 days away from Yom Kippur. 40 days. The same number of days that Moshe spent on Har Sinai receiving the Torah. The same 40 days of the Mabul that reshaped the world. 40 is not a coincidence in the Jewish calendar. It's a number of transformation. And so for each of the next 40 days, we are going to look honestly, sometimes very uncomfortably honestly, at who we are, at the traits that define us, that drive us, and sometimes derail us. And today we begin with the first trait, the first midah of Savlanut, patience. Now, if you ask most people whether or not they are patient, they would say, well, it depends. Am I patient in traffic? Not so much. Am I patient with my kids at the end of a long day? Questionable. Am I patient when the person in front of me at the checkout has 17 items in the 10-item lane and is paying by some app that he needs to find on his phone? Probably not. But what's fascinating about the word savlanut itself is that it does not actually come from the root meaning to wait. It comes from the root of saval, sevel, which means to carry a burden. A saval in Tanakh is a porter, someone who bears heavy loads. So patience, in the Jewish conception, is actually not passive. It's not just gritting your teeth and watching the clock. Savlanut is the strength to carry something heavy, a difficult person, a frustrating situation, an unmet expectation, without putting it down in anger, without dropping it on someone else. And that reframes everything. The Orchot Tzadikim, in his chapter on patience, makes a very striking observation. He says that the ka'asan, the angry person, loses much more than his temper. He loses his wisdom. The Gemara Masechet Pesachim says it explicitly. Kol ha'ko'es, kol minei gehinam sholtim bo. Whoever gets angry, all kinds of suffering takes hold on that person. And Rabbi Yochanan adds in Masechet Nedarim that a person who gets angry, even if greatness was decreed for him from heaven, it's taken away. Anger and patience are not just personality traits. According to our Chachamim, they are destiny shapers. But let me tell you about a different kind of patience. The kind that is almost invisible because it's so quiet. The Chafetz Chaim once had a student who arrived very late to yeshiva. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. The other students waited for the Rosh Yeshiva to say something, but he never did. And finally, when one of the senior students approached him and asked, Rabbi, why don't you rebuke him? Chafetz Chaim smiled and said, I'm still waiting to find the right moment, the moment when my words will build and not break. That's Savlanut. It's not silence out of indifference. Patience as a form of precision, knowing that the right response delivered at the wrong moment is still the wrong response. As we stand at the beginning of these 40 days, here's the question that we sit with today. What burden am I carrying badly? Is there a person in your life who tests you? Is there a child or a spouse, a colleague, a parent? And instead of bearing that weight with strength, you keep putting it down on them? Savlanut asks us to pick it back up. Not because it's not heavy. Of course, sometimes it's heavy. But because we are stronger than we think. And the people in our lives deserve someone who believes that. This has been day number 1 of the 40-Day Mirror, a journey through Jewish character. Until tomorrow.